Well, let's face it, everyone. We are a society in motion. We've been that way since the beginning. We always will be that way. And because of this, we have created a game called Cities in Motion. This is going to be a introductory video for all of you out there who haven't played this game yet or checked it out or don't know anything about it. This goes along the same lines as a city building game. It has a lot of the same aspects to it, although you are just dealing with traffic and transportation in this game. So you're not actually building the buildings, and you are just setting up different routes for transportation that you can use. But it is got a lot of the same aspects as a city building game with economics. You have to get your different transportation systems set up the best way possible to earn yourself as much money. And so there's a lot of economics, some strategy involved in where you set up your different transportation methods and how you set them up. And a lot of puzzle solving and trying to figure out what's going on with why certain systems are working well, why your people are happy or unhappy. And so if you like any of these aspects, you should check out Cities in Motion. So there's lots of new things coming out for this game. Seems like all the time. There's a new add-on called St. Petersburg that's about ready to be released. There's many different cities. I have all the expansions up to St. Petersburg. So there's a nice tutorial you can go through. There's a campaign, many different campaigns in different cities. Here's Paris, here's Munich, here's Tokyo, city of I think I'm saying that right, and of course different cities in America. You can set up your own transportation company with your logo, company name, color, etc. So that's a campaign. There's also a sandbox mode where you can just go in and play any of the different cities and just try to get the best reputation and the best transportation for the different cities. So you can see there's quite a list of them. Of course, all these don't come with the base game. There are, like I said, I think there's 4 or 5 cities that come with the base game. These are all expansions that you can buy for a few dollars each. And of course, there's different scenarios you can play. Right now, I've only got the Berlin Foundation scenario. I'm sure there's lots of other ones you can download or get. What I'm going to do is load up my game that I've been working on here. It was a sandbox game, I believe, set up in Paris, the city of lovers. This kind of goes back to my Cities XL 2012, where you're actually building the city, and in that game, the city's already built for you, and all you have to do is set it up transportation-wise. I love how that introductory kind of just fades from an old black and white photograph into like a color photograph. So as you can see, we'll just zoom around here. First thing we'll do is put the game on pause down here in the corner. You can see the city's already built for you. There is no building of the buildings or anything like that. The city's already set up for you. Your job is to figure out how to set up different routes to make money for your company, and occasionally there will be different messages that pop up, and you'll get different tasks or jobs from somebody. So for example, maybe the cathedral here, you might get a message saying the cathedral wants people to come visit them or whatever. So you got to set up a line that'll complete the objective, and they'll give you a certain amount of money as a reward. Again, you can see the city's already built for you. Here's the Arc de Triomphe and the Eiffel Tower over here. And you can play in different time periods. I think it starts in early 1900s and goes, I think, all the way up to modern times. And you can set up when you want to start with your different city. Here's Notre Dame. And so if you're familiar with Paris or ever been there, you can kind of see how it's laid out. Of course, you can zoom in all the way down to this level here. You can rotate your map in either direction, so when you're setting up your routes, you can see how to do that in the best way. There's, like I said, it's an economy game, so you can come in and see your budget here. You can see whether you're making money or losing money. You can take out loans from different banks for different time periods, your energy consumption, your policies here. We've got things set a little high here. This is how much you're charging for your different transportation methods there are. Let's show you what there is. There's bus, there's tram, there's metro, there's water bus, and there's helicopters. Depending on the different time frames, some of these things may or may not be available to you. This is where you set your ticket pricing, your vehicle maintenance, etc., etc. These are your wages for your people. If you have them higher, obviously it's going to take out of your budget. But if your people, your workers are happy, you get some bonuses in the way they do their routes. You can actually advertise in this game to try and get better popularity in certain of the different classifications. Up here on the top, you can actually see your reputation here with all the different classes in the game. Here there's tourists, business people, workers, blue-collar workers, etc., etc. And obviously the happier the people are, the more money and the more willing they are to use your company. So again, the breakdown of your budget. Here shows the different vehicles you can purchase depending on if you're setting up a bus line, a tram line, or whatever. Here's your different lines. We'll look at that in here in a minute. Here's your different company charts and also the economic charts. So you can see the economy of the world has actually crashed there. When that happens, unemployment goes up. You notice our unemployment went up there. So people aren't willing to pay as much for transportation. So you got to keep track of not only your city but also the world economy. Here is kind of a breakdown of all your different vehicles, whether they're making money, how many people they're transporting, their breakdown, repair abilities. Here's all your different stations and stops, and you can see if there's people waiting, if they're happy, unhappy. And of course you can sort them by any of these different icons here at the top. And it'll tell you what line they're on. So you can see as we zoom around our city here, we can just look and see. Okay, we've got, this looks like one of our buses here. It's on line 15 here. You can see we got quite a few bus lines already set up. It tells you how many people it's running, how many people are in it, what its capacity is, etc., etc. Of course, we can zoom in down on it. You can see whether there's people waiting at different stops or not. You can see by the little smiley faces or the unhappy faces whether they're happy or not, so you can kind of get an idea of what needs to be improved. For example, we can see here as we zoom in, there's a lot of people here waiting for the bus, so that's probably why they're not happy. This happens to be bus number line 9, so we can look at line 9 here. We can go into our managed vehicles and we can see we have 2 buses on this line and they're pretty full, so what we need to do is buy another bus. So when you look at the buses, you might go, oh, well, let's just get the biggest bus we can, but there's different bonuses and penalties for each of the bus. For example, this one here is a capacity of 30 people on it, and it's got attractiveness of 80%, which is going to help keep your people happy if the buses are good looking or not. But it does have a fuel consumption of 10, and it does have a breakdown likelihood of 45%. And of course it costs $1,000 here. So you have to manage whether or not you want this vehicle here only breaks down 10% of the time, but it only holds 20 people. So is it better for me in this situation to buy a lower capacity vehicle with a with a lower breakdown, or to buy a bigger bus with a higher breakdown chance. And of course, the speed comes into play depending on how many people are, or where the location is, if it's on the outskirts of town or the inskirts of town. So in this case, let's buy a. We've already purchased some Comet Abithia. I'm not sure how to say that, but so that's what the two buses are there. So we'll just keep the same kind of bus, and we'll purchase that bus. It's going to cost us 740. We can see we have 4,000. So let's go ahead and buy two buses. We're going to add those to the line there. Hopefully that'll keep these people a little happier. On the other side of the road, we have line 8, and these people are somewhat not as happy. Let's look at the rest of line 8 here, and all we have to do is click on line 8, and you'll see the little stops show up. So here's stop 1, the people are not very happy. Stop 2, they're not very happy. Oop, we have multiple stops there. Line 4, they're happy. Line 8, they're not. Let's see, stop 3, they're unhappy. They're unhappy here, they're unhappy just about everywhere. So let's see if we can figure out why. I think we just purchased this new bus, but we're going to buy another one again. This time we're going to buy a bigger bus here, and hopefully it's going to take us a lot of energy. We're going to lose 23, so we can see that this bus here has cost us 25 in energy, and it's making 81. So this bus is actually good for our system. But if you look at some of the others, oh wow, that was a really good one. Look at this, line 10. It's making 218. So we should probably get another bus for line 10. But you notice we're going to start losing a lot of money here unless we can start getting kind of buses do we have? The same thing, huh? They have a pretty low breakdown rate. They don't use up a lot of fuel, and they do have a pretty decent capacity. I think that's why I was using them, and they're, you know, quite a bit cheaper than some of the more expensive buses. So let's see if we can get this line making a lot of money for us. But of course, the more buses we put out there, the busier the traffic's going to be. And we'll go ahead and just unpause it here so we can see the game for a few minutes in action. Again, I just wanted to introduce this game to you. A lot of people think, oh my god, a traffic simulation game, how boring. Oh my god, I can't believe I would never do that. But if you go in thinking that, then you're probably not going to enjoy it. But if you go in thinking it's a economy, puzzle solving, strategy game, then you probably will enjoy it. I had seen this game. It's on the Paradox forums, and I kind of had the same attitude about, oh, why would I want to spend my time playing a game on traffic and creating bus lines? It sounds boring as heck. But I actually watched a couple videos on YouTube and thought, wow, this is actually pretty good. I might have to try this out. So you can see here that it's actually been a lot of fun since I started playing. So we can check our money here. We're losing a lot of money. Okay, well, this month our monthly costs are way up because of our purchases. So we'll have to see how we do. But you can look at our line here. The orange lines or the red lines here are the trams, and the blue lines are the buses. I don't have any Metro set up right now, but you can see on this line here, we're actually running it, and we're getting 0 people on any of the stops. So what we need to do to fix that is maybe there's nobody interested in taking the tram around this way. So what we have to do is try to make it a little more interesting for people. And what you can do is you can click on the different locations and see what's there. So for example, here's an apartment building here. This is another apartment building. This is a hospital. Okay, this is another apartment building. Let's see what this. There's a department store. So if people want to go shopping, if you can get your line up there and have a stop near there, then they will take your line. And you can see when I click on the stops, they have a little radius, and that shows you the pretty good representation of the area that people from around that area would be interested to come to your stop to use your route if they're interested in going to any of these things. So the cool thing is you can actually zoom in on people here. Let's zoom in on, oh, there's somebody there. Let's go to some stop that there's actually people. Oh, let's see if we can find some people here. Still 0. Let's find somebody here. Here's a person. We can actually click on this person down here, and it'll actually tell us all about that person, what they're trying to get to, whether they're going to use public transportation, if they're happy, unhappy. You can look on your citizens and say, oh, they're trying to get to the cinema. This person here is trying to get to Gare de Perros. I'm not sure what that is, but that's where he's trying to get to. So you can watch your different stops and watch what the people are doing when they get on and off, and you can kind of see if there's people that are interested in getting different places. There are random events that will also pop up like this here. A fire is raging. We can click on that and actually go to the fire here. Let's see if we can see it. I might not be able to see it because it's paused and it might have just started. But eventually the fire will be raging out of the buildings. And again, that doesn't have anything to do with us much in that we're not actually building the buildings. We're not part of that part of the system. But what will happen is the fire engines will come here and they'll block this road. So I need to find out what route this is. Route 12. I need to close down Route 12 because they won't be able to get by because all the fire... Oh, there's the fire engine right there, I think. Let's zoom around. Yep, right here's the fire engine. So this is probably the building that's on fire. So I need to shut down this route because our buses won't be able to get by and everything will be jammed up. And then people will be unhappy because none of the buses are coming. So you got to keep track of all the different world events. There'll be fires, there'll be traffic accidents, there'll be all sorts of different things that'll randomly pop up. So again, it's a game where you have to, you're constantly building and you're constantly thinking about the best ways to set up routes to make your money, to keep your economy going. When you run out of money, you start running into a lot of trouble. Let's see what we got here. We got 66 people waiting. So of course they're not happy, probably because if we look at tram stop 1, we go to the trams, we look at line 1. Let's see what their vehicle looks like. We got a few open spots in the vehicles. We might. This vehicle actually isn't making us any money. This one is, and this one's barely making us some money. So I don't know if it'd be worth putting another line in there or not. But that's something to think about. We don't actually have one. We'd have to buy one. But what we could do is go to our other tram line that's not making any money, which is this one here. And that's tram line number 4. And we can see what vehicles we got. Oop, we got in there. We got one big vehicle, and it's not making us any money whatsoever. So we're going to take that out of line 4 for now. And you notice a little flag happens, which means that line is no longer active. And we'll go ahead and add that into our line 1 and see if we can get some more people happy in that. Again, the ways to make people happy, you can take out an advertising campaign to try and show people that you're a good company. You can add more buses or trams to the line. You can redesign the stops. So there's always something to be doing, and there's always something to be messing around with to try and get to be better. So again, this setup was probably not very good. We don't have a lot of money to create some more tracks for our trams, and what we might want to do is extend this down and connect it up with this route here. And if we could do that, then maybe we would get a lot more business from all the way up here. People that want to go to Notre Dame might take the bus over to the tram line and then they take the tram line up there. So if we could do that, they would take the bus, which is going to cost them $4.20, and then take the tram line, which takes $4.60. And then we could hopefully get $8 and some odd cents out of these people. Oops. Let's click off of that. So that's kind of an overview. This is, again, cities in motion. There's lots of different cities out there. People not happy there. This is line 4, bus line 4. Let's see if we can look at bus line 4. It's a lot. You can see we got 2, 4, 6. We got 7 vehicles on the line, and it's still not enough. So this is actually a pretty good line for us. We're going to buy a bigger capacity bus, and even though it's more apt to break down, hopefully we can get some more people around and keep a lot of people from showing up. Oh, here's an event that popped up, little green question mark. And again, we have here, good day, I'm an expiring poet. At the moment, I still have to go to work as well. So I'll be able to support myself with only my lovely poetry, but right now I have a problem getting to work. Could you make a line from my house to the factory I work at? So if we accept this, what will happen on our little screen here is little messages will show up, and we can see this is the factory she works at. This is her house over here, and we would just set up a bus line or a tram line or however we think the best way for her to get over here. And not only her, but if it's advantageous for her to get over there, we can look and see, okay, this is obviously a apartment complex of different people, and you can actually go in your info panel, and the info panel actually shows a lot of things. Here's homes. We can look at all the homes. We can look at blue collar, white collar, business people. So obviously the business people don't live there. Business people live down here. So we would need to get these people up to the businesses. So we'd have to find the businesses. Here's shopping, workplace, government. You can look at the traffic and see where your traffic problems are. Right now we've got obviously the high congested spot right here. This whole area has been nothing but a pain in the butt for me right here. It's so congested there. I just, it's what do I do to fix that problem? I'm not sure, but that's one of the fun things about the game is you try and solve it. Like I said, it's kind of a puzzle aspect is, okay, well, what do I do? These people aren't happy. We've got a traffic jam here because these people are trying to turn. These buses are trying to turn here. So maybe we have to change this line here, line 4. And maybe line 4 doesn't need to go this way. Maybe line 4 needs to come down, maybe down in this way. So there's different things you can look at to set up to help you figure out how to change everything to make it that much better. Let's see how we're doing money-wise. Oops, that's not our money-wise. This is our money. So we're actually making slightly more money than we're losing. And you can see we've got wages, but to keep your people happy, gives you bonuses on the routes. So you want to make your employees happy. You could, of course, drop the wages down a little bit and maybe not get as good a performance. How much energy consumption? So again, do we want to look at maybe getting some higher energy buses off the line, or maybe stop some of the tram routes or whatever? Vehicle maintenance. We can add vehicle maintenance, or we could take, right now it's set up to 50% at vehicles and also the stop and station maintenance. So you can up that or down that depending on whether you think it's a high need. Service usage, it shows you where the most usages of your lines are. Right here's a pretty good one. Kind of, I don't see any green right now, so obviously we're not doing that well. So this is just started into the game though, and so there's lots of different things to look at. And of course, if we complete this little mission we got, we're going to get a reward. Here's all the missions we've had, and the ones we've completed, and the ones you haven't completed yet are here. And it shows us how much we're going to get. We're going to get a popularity bonus if we do, because we're now going to get our workers over to the factory. So that's something to think about. And that's pretty much Cities in Motion. If you go in with the attitude of, oh, it's just a stupid game of moving traffic around and that sounds boring as hell, then you probably won't enjoy this game very much. But if you think of it as an economic strategy game where you're thinking about the best ways to use the limited resources you have to set up and create a better system that'll get you more and more money. Oh, look, we got a big traffic jam here. People coming up here, so and if you think of it as a game that is all about figuring out different puzzles in different situations, and it doesn't really matter if it's a traffic game or a game of tic-tac-toe or Risk or whatever. It's all the same thing. It's all strategy and using your economic and your resources to create a bigger and better, in this case, city for yourself. So hopefully that'll be a good introductory. They're very much into this system. They've created, like I said, a lot of add-ons, different cities, different expansion packs you can pick up, so you get more buses and more different vehicles. And they keep expanding it more and more, and every time they expand it, they hopefully create a bigger and better game for us all to enjoy. So there it is, Cities in Motion. Hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. If you have any thoughts or questions, if you'd like to see more of this, be sure to post, thumbs up, comment, and let me know what you think. I'm always listening to my subscribers, so if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe and let me know what you think of this Cities in Motion. Thank you so much for stopping in and spending a few minutes with me today. Hopefully you'll check out some of my other videos, and hopefully I've got something that you'll be interested in and will be able to subscribe and come back. Again, have a good evening. We will talk with you soon. This is ID Jester signing off.